I got the bloodlust. Me too. I want to kill. Let's kill.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to The Bloodlust. This is your go-to podcast for classy broads talking horror. This is episode 216 of the program. Tonight we're going to be talking about a very underseen but very excellent movie from the 1990s called Bayou, which has just recently become part of the Criterion Collection. My name's Amy. I'm your fearless leader. Joined, as always, by my co-host Jamie. Hello, friend.
Yellow.
Happy New Year to you.
Sure
it is. Happy New Year to all of our listeners. We hope that you had a nice time ringing in the new year. Nothing too crazy, I hope. I was feeling sick, so I stayed home. Did you do anything?
No, I never do it.
Well, you were also a bartender, so
never do anything.
From former bartenders, generally, New Year's Eve is not much of a big...
I've worked plenty of New Year's Eves.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing for me.
Amateur night. So what did you do on New Year's Eve?
Oh, I hung out. I went to my parents. I watched some football. We played cards. Came home, went to bed. Woke up, and it was just another day.
Yeah, usually they are.
Yeah. And that's all worked out.
I watched a movie and fell asleep, just like usual.
Yeah.
So I ended it just like I began it. Falling asleep watching a movie.
It's nice that way.
Yeah, I watched Antichrist.
Okay.
That's how I spent my New Year's Eve.
It's an odd
Just for
choice.
fun. Just for fun.
It's never a movie that anyone picks just for fun.
I did. I watched it for fun. Yeah,
I don't
sure
believe
did.
it. I don't believe it.
I fell asleep to it and woke up at about 11:30 and then
That's
took
stupid.
myself to
Did
bed.
you fall asleep at a peen part and wake up at a peen part?
I mean, I fell asleep to something disgusting and I woke up to something disgusting because,
peens.
Or about scissors and
Mostly peens.
delicate genitalia of different kinds, yeah.
So much delicate genitalia. Ew. Well, I watched John Wick for the first time.
That's right. And you loved them? Did you watch more than one or just one?
Well, I watched the first one and fell asleep through the second. Because, it's a lazy day. And I fell asleep. But is it the best movie I've ever seen? Maybe.
Wow.
That's how it is when you watch an awesome action type movie that's about someone getting revenge for the killing of their dog.
But
and I know
did they
this is
show
one
the
that
killing
people
of the
told-
dog? Because I don't want to see that.
They did, and I told my sister, just fast forward through minutes 14 through 16, and you'll be fine.
2 minutes?
2 minutes, that's it.
That's a long amount, though.
Yeah, but just fast forward through it.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then you don't ever have to worry about it.
Well, I would like to watch it.
2 minutes of a 2-hour-long movie, you'll be fine.
I guess so. As long as I know when it happens. So I suppose I'll just go to the doesthedogdie.org and find it. But they are all on
it
HBO
does,
now, right?
And fast forward through those 2 minutes, and you will be fine.
Okay.
You will not see it, and you will instead see an awesome action movie where you are rooting for the guy the whole time.
Well, it's Keanu. I always root for Keanu.
Well, sure. Who doesn't root for Keanu?
You were just telling me that you saw The Gift for the first time, the Sam Raimi movie from the 90s. Or was it 2001?
Yes. Yeah. Who hasn't seen that movie? Because you all need to see it.
I think that's another underrated. I mean, I don't think
absolutely, I would say that's an underrated movie. I have never heard of that from anybody.
Really?
So I would say it's underrated. Never once have I heard about that movie from other people.
I think that movie came
awesome.
out a little bit after Boys Don't Cry, and because of that, I was interested. Well, because of Sam Raimi, too.
Well, sure.
I was interested, but I think I saw it because I knew that that What's-Her-Face was in it, and I wanted to see her in something else to see, because I wasn't sure when I saw Boys Don't Cry if it was just a fluke or if she was a good actress, and I still don't really know. I still think that was probably her best performance. I mean, she's definitely very different in The Gift.
Oh, What's-Her-Face?
Yeah, why am I blanking on her name?
She's not even in it as much as she is in Boys Don't Cry.
Well, certainly not. Boys Don't Cry, she carries the whole movie. And this, she's just a supporting. That was why I initially saw
What's her
it.
name?
Why am I forgetting her name?
Why am I forgetting her name?
Oh my God. Hold on.
She was from
Boys Don't Cry.
$1 Million Baby.
And $1 Million Baby. What's wrong with us?
What's wrong with us?
Swank, Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank, that's her.
Okay. I almost
Oy.
typed it in, but I got it before then.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. But the Gift is a cool, underrated
super
horror
cool
movie. It's more horror than this one is. This is Eve's Bayou is pretty light on horror, but it has themes of like voodoo and things like that. And fortune telling. So I thought it would be one that we could kind of wedge in here. But The Gift is more solidly a horror movie, but also about a fortune teller.
Yeah, this one we're dipping a toe into horror. Like, this is one that it would be hard pressed to call it horror, in my opinion.
I agree. I just really wanted to do it.
As much as I loved it, I thought it was a great movie.
Oh, good.
Like, all around. I thought it was awesome, but it wasn't scary.
No, it's not scary. I mean, there's intense moments, but it's not scary.
But
The Gift has some scary moments, right? And not only supernatural ones and jump scares, but also some pretty good
and some crazy
intense
good acting
scenes
by Cate Blanchett.
Well, sure.
Like, I mean, when does she not do?
When has she not
Greg
given a great
Kinnear
performance?
And who else is in there?
Keanu.
Katie Holmes.
Keanu
Reeves.
as a villain, which is not
Keanu is
which is
horrible
rare
in
for
this.
him,
Like,
and he's very scary. He's effectively scary,
makes
even though
me
he
so
still looks like
uncomfortable.
a beautiful China doll.
Like,
He somehow
sir,
makes
you
himself-
should not be this kind of person. I just now I've seen you get revenge for your murdered dog.
I can't
Now
look at you
know
the same.
Shouldn't be in this movie.
It's very hard to accept Keanu as a villain because of all that we know about him and, all that, but he does a good job in it. And it's got some really cool shots,
Yeah.
because it's Sam Raimi.
He was definitely an effective villain. That was an awesome movie. I was totally surprised at how great that movie was. Unexpected. It was recommended to me by Amazon. I checked it out over like the holidays and was totally blown away. I was like, this movie's amazing.
It also features in the end credits a song by Nico Case.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, a good one of her best murder ballads. Furnace Ring Lullaby.
I thought it was a great movie. Cate Blanchett killed it in it.
Yeah,
I love her anyways, but she was great in this.
She was.
Highly recommend for any of y'all out there who've got, what did I say, Prime?
Yeah, you said Amazon recommended it.
Yeah.
I saw some other stuff that's on Prime now. What was it I wanted to recommend? Well, it was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou was one of them. It's now streaming. And I do love that movie.
I also love that movie. I will say also on Prime, not on Prime, on HBO Max. All 3 John Wick movies are. And that's where I started watching those for the first time.
Yeah, there's a bunch of new stuff streaming.
The first John Wick is one of the best action movies I've ever seen. Since Mad Max.
That's saying something, because that's one of my favorite action movies ever.
Yeah, because it's an awesome movie. And this was awesome. You know it's going to be good as soon as shit starts to go down. You're like, oh, you guys did it wrong. You're about to get fucked. And that's what happens. And that's what I want from an action movie.
I do love a revenge movie.
From the beginning to be like, oh, you guys fucked up.
And then you just get to cheer as he gets revenge
And it was
the
so
rest
good.
of the time. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been described as sounding really good to me.
Well, I'm going to watch the rest of them tonight if I don't fall asleep.
You'll give us your update on what you think of the rest of them.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Plus, he's such a babe.
Oh, he's such a babe.
Keanu.
He's always been
why are you
probably
such a
my
hug?
number one male crush.
I mean, he was always one of my moms, and I never really understood it. But now, the more I see him, and I'm like, I get it, Mom. I
remember.
Get it.
I mean, I had a crush on him in Bill and
Barb,
Ted.
you
In
know what you're
Parenthood,
doing.
when he was really young, I had a crush.
There's
him
that
in
movie that he is in with Diane Keaton and Jack Nicholson. It's one of those I don't know, older folk movies. That's
Oh, the one where Diane Keaton has the nude scene.
oh, maybe. I don't
Was
know
it like a
anything
May
about that.
December thing where she was
Yeah. Yep. And Amanda Peet, I think, is in it. Yep. I don't remember nude scene, but I just remember seeing that movie and being like, he is gorgeous in this. And that was Keanu Reeves, he being Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
and
certainly not Jack
was,
Nicholson, no.
No. And he was gorgeous in it.
Yeah,
like,
he's a beautiful, beautiful
he
China
was a
doll.
doctor in the movie, and I was like, oh, he's playing his, like, peak.
Well, there was a time when he was a romantic lead in some rom-coms, too.
No, for sure.
After Speed.
Listen, he deserves it.
That was before
you read
everyone
about
realized
this fella's tragic past, and you can't help but root for him.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
I
for a
love
long
him so
time,
much.
people used to make fun of him because he was a shitty actor, but
That's insane.
People
I've never
like
thought
him
that.
now.
I've loved everything that he's in.
oh, people used to always make fun of Keanu and
I
just
can-
do, like,
I can
the
believe it,
whoa
sure.
thing all the time and whatever.
Yeah.
But he showed everybody doing the Matrix,
Yep.
and getting all that money out of that and making that
He
smart
showed
decision.
you fuckers.
Yeah, he showed everybody, and now he's pretty much universally beloved.
Well, I would love if this was an episode about John Wick, but it's not.
But it's not, so let's move on.
But I won't be upset if we talk about John Wick a little bit.
Well, we did.
We did.
And I don't have anything else to add
No,
because I haven't seen
either.
it yet, but... So why
I
don't we
can't
move
believe
on?
you haven't. I thought you recommended it to me.
No.
That is stupid. Amy, you need to... I think you should watch it tonight when we hang up.
Maybe I will.
You should.
Well,
I thought for sure it
I've got to
was you
edit.
who
I won't be able
recommended it
to.
me.
But maybe if I get it done early
You
enough.
don't ever need to edit that much.
Not
Get outta
not
here.
much, but I do have to edit some and put the music on and such.
You should watch the first one. I need someone else to experience it for the first time with me because it was.
Okay.
I've watched it twice.
You've watched it twice.
It was
today?
one of those that I watched it all the way through and was like, I need to watch. I want to watch this again.
I watched Fury Road when I first saw it. I watched it again the next day.
Yeah. That's how this felt to me. Where I was like,
have you seen
oh,
Everything
shit, I
Everywhere
love
All
this.
at Once yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
You and I went and saw it. in the
I couldn't
theater.
remember if we saw it together, if I saw it with Jonah.
We did.
Okay.
No.
So for our round table tonight, this is a movie from 1997. Not exactly a horror movie, but we're stretching it a little. We're stretching the limitations of the bloodlust a little bit tonight. But our round table is still about horror. So Jamie,
Yes.
what are some of your favorite horror movies from the 1990s? You'll notice on here I put
90s.
favorites, but I know that is not something that you...
It's not. I hate doing favorite stuff. But
Yeah.
when I think of like when I was a kid and the horror type movies that I loved, and I know I've mentioned them here before, but I loved The People Under the Stairs. Mm-hmm. And I really hope that at one point we get like sort of a flashback episode or something where we can watch and review that.
We can do that anytime you want. It's our show.
That's a great point. We should do that because I love that movie.
And it has held up very well.
It's held up. It's.
I
One
mean,
of
I
those
probably
that I've
watched it like
seen-
5-10 years ago now was the last
Yeah,
time, but I
same
still
here.
think it has.
But it's one that when I saw when I was younger, it was one of those that had that sort of like, I don't know, what do you call it? Like, it had sort of a mythos to it. Like,
Yeah.
with me and my friends. Like, we've heard of it. It was one that might have been on the pay-per-view channels, like, late at night. Our parents had watched it. So people were talking about it. And I think the first time I saw it was at a friend's house when her parents had it on like Cinemax or
Nice.
something late at night, and we caught it. And I remember distinctly one of the first scenes that I saw was the scene towards the beginning where they like skin the body and dump it in the water, and like all the people are like behind.
They're all
like,
hiding,
great
but then they all
things
come out
hiding.
to like eat.
Yeah, and then like the skinned body like comes out, like they have it pulled out of the. I don't remember like the details of it. That's why I really would like to see it again because that was the very specific scene that fucked me up as a kid.
Yeah,
where I
that was
like,
singed into my memory as well.
Yep, where I was like this, and like the scenes of them sort of scurrying behind the walls, and I was like, this movie's messed up. But I loved it, and I've loved it all of these years, and I've had fond memories of it all through these years. And because it was so weird and this weird, like, calling him daddy, and it wasn't
Mom,
her daddy. Like, it was her husband.
Yeah, they had a weird
brother.
kind of S&M kind of relationship, and yet they were also siblings.
Yeah, like, it was such...
It was weird and, like, transgressive in a way that, like, it made it feel like it was wrong to watch as a kid. Yeah, but in a way that you didn't quite understand.
I think that's why I loved it so much, because, like...
It felt like something you shouldn't be seeing.
Yeah, because there were a handful of things I wasn't allowed to see as a kid, like any kid is. Yeah. But there were a handful of things that I successfully stuck out to see as a child, and that was like Jaws and The Godfather. And so, like, things that I saw and loved, but this one, for some reason, like, I feel like I snuck out and saw bits of, and it fucked me up. And that's why it holds this, like, interesting place in my psyche, where it's like, that is a very special movie that is funny and intense. And it has, like, subject matter that is very unusual for that time period, and probably unusual for this time period.
It also has some interesting stuff about, places. Like, gentrification and stuff that you don't pick up on when you're a kid. 100%. That lends another layer to it when you're a grown-up. That was something that I hadn't picked up on when I was a kid, that when I watched it again, I thought, well, this makes it... It's part of the reason why it's held up so well. Plus, did you remember that Ving Rhames is in it?
Yes. He's the
guy who the kid breaks in with in the beginning. That's his uncle or something, right?
Yep. No, it's a great movie. I'd say within the first quarter of this year we should cover it.
Okay.
It's got to be streaming somewhere. We've talked about it enough.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, let's take a look. It might have been one of the ones that was on streaming that has just been put on streaming, actually.
But that's definitely one of mine, because it's also one that I remember, like, distinctly walking through Blockbuster, like walking from my house, walking to Blockbuster, because I had one walking distance, and that's
it's just for rent right now. I fondly
remember those. I'd rent it. I'd care.
Rent it. It's $3.99. Who cares?
But I remember it having a pretty solid video picture. So, like, I remember
it's got a cool
going
cover
to Blockbuster and renting it often.
Yeah, it's a good cover. It's a very 90s cover, but it's the kind of 90s cover that
I remember that one. Like, I remember Leprechaun's cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. People Under the Stairs. Like, I just think not enough people talk about that movie.
And it's Wes Craven. I think
it's one of Wes Craven's best movies.
I agree.
I think it is one of our best movies from our era. Mm-hmm. I think it's
well, that's the thing about the 90s. Famously, not a great decade. It hasn't been fucked
over by prequels and sequels. It hasn't been fucked over by redos, and I hesitate to put that out there because I feel like this is going to be one eventually someone's going to want to redo.
Did you see they've remade The Crow?
Yeah, I'm never going to watch that.
No. The first Crow wasn't good. I mean, come on.
The first Crow was not good.
Brandon Lee was very handsome.
Sure, it had that nostalgic...
And it had a great soundtrack.
Handsome.
But other than that, it was a corny movie. And they've remade it.
Oh.
With, I think, Bill Skarsgård.
I'm shocked that they haven't remade People Under the Stairs
yet. You're right. Now that you mention it. But they're going to... Eventually they will. It's a standalone movie. And it also has a very topical themes, which...
Yes, it does.
So I'm shocked they haven't remade it too. As for my favorite horror movie of the 90s, I'm going to go with... For me, it was down to... The People Under the Stairs is on my list. If I was going to make a list of 4, it would be down to that one, Audition...
Yep.
The Sixth Sense, and Dead Alive. And 2 of those are 99, so I'm almost cheating a little bit. Just because a lot of times people categorize the movies that came out in 1999, like The Matrix and Audition and stuff like that, as movies of the 2000s. But they came out in the 90s. The Sixth Sense to me is just a really well-made and elegantly put together horror movie. I think it has very few flaws, and it's just such a good ghost story. Audition really shocked the hell out of me when I first saw it. It's super intense.
Yep.
We hadn't really seen anything like that before. And then Dead Alive is Peter Jackson, of course. That's his second movie, and that was, at that time, the goriest thing I'd ever seen in my life. There's the, of course, the famous like lawnmower scene in that. It's got so many amazing scenes in it.
It's so funny that that's Peter Jackson.
Oh, yeah. That's like, quintessential early Peter Jackson, you know?
Yeah,
he made Bad Taste.
Really
he made
solid stuff.
He's what a body of work Peter Jackson has made. He did a
Heavenly
World War I
Creatures.
documentary. He did Heavenly Creatures, one of the greatest.
Which is one of my absolute favorite movies.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely. We haven't reviewed that either.
No, and we should add that to our list because that movie's fantastic.
Maybe every like once a month or something we should.
Yes.
But then again, that's every other episode.
I don't care. Let's do it. Who cares? It's our show.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want. We can revisit old stuff.
We can do whatever the fuck we want. I would love to do that because I would love to do Heavenly Creatures.
Yeah. And, you know, Eve's Bayou has been added to the National Register of Films, which I think is amazing because it should be preserved. Heavenly Creatures should be, too. I
agree. It's without a doubt one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yes, I agree. So
just
that's
the weird, like, part.
The weird inner world that they have.
Yes.
Barovnia.
Oh,
yeah.
I love it so much.
Just all of the magical realism in that. There's a lot of parallels between that could be made between that and Eve's Bayou as far as magical realism goes.
Let's get in it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's start talking about Eve's Bayou. Jamie, why don't you tell us some stats about this film, if you would, please? And also, listeners, do tell us your favorite horror movies of the 1990s. We obviously didn't.
1990s seems so long ago.
I know. We didn't mention Event Horizon. We didn't mention Blair Witch Project, Scream, any of that stuff. So.
I was talking to Becky today about Jacob's Ladder. She was talking about how she really likes...
They remade that too, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
I believe so.
I don't know about that. She was just talking about how she really likes the idea of doing horror movies based on, like, the perspective of a U.S. soldier. Or a soldier who's come back from war and dealing with PTSD. And I was like, that's a great point. There haven't been enough.
Not enough.
To touch on
Absolutely
that
not.
subject. And she brought up Jacob's Ladder. And I was like, that movie fucked me up. Like, I haven't revisited it.
Yeah, that was one I watched as a kid that I haven't gone back and watched.
Like,
but I remember being really disturbed by...
100%. That movie is messed up.
It's disturbing and it's depressing.
Absolutely.
There were a lot of movies from that era that were very depressing. I don't know if it was just like the cultural, what was going on in the country at the time, or, you know, we had a lot of crime and stuff. Maybe that's
Could
part
be.
of it. I don't know. All right, but Eve's Bayou, let's talk about it. That's what we're here to do. Damn it.
It is, damn it. All right, well, Eve's Bayou, it was written and directed by one Miss Casey Lemmons. Miss Casey Lemmons. It stars Samuel L. Jackson, Jurnee Smollett, Juicy Smollett, family member, Meagan Good, and Lynn Whitfield. It is rated hard R. Not hard R, I just made that up.
Yeah, there's no titties.
No, there's no tits. There's no anything else.
There's no T, there's no A.
No. Runtime, 1 hour, 55 minutes. Oh, that's the director's cut.
Yeah, it's like 1 hour 48 or something, the regular one.
It's one of those like runtimes where it's like, if you couldn't do it in an hour 30, like why did it take you an hour 55? But whatever, that's fine.
Oh, I listened to the commentary this morning, and the director
good. Then you can.
She was not happy about the cuts that were made. We can talk about it.
Okay, good. It's one of those where like I feel like you either should have done it longer so I could see the things you cut, or
we watched the director's
why'd you cut it at this timing? Because I'm one of those that's like, if you cut it at 1:55,
why not just make it 2 hours?
Why not just make it 2 hours, or why not make it 1:30 and cut an appropriate amount of stuff? But anyways,
the runtime for the theatrical release was 1 hour 48.
Yep. Okay. Well, here we are. Anyways, premiered at the TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival, September 7th, 1977. No, that's so wrong. 1997. I wasn't even alive. Released November 7th, 1997. Rotten Tomatoes, 84% critics, 89% audience. and them's the stats.
Them's the stats.
Them's them.
This was the most commercially successful indie film of 97 of that year. And a big part of the reason why is because Roger Ebert named it his favorite movie of the year. And that helped it gain some publicity.
Sure.
You know, he was like the preeminent critic in the country while he was alive. And this got a lot of nominations, a lot of wins from different, like, you know, film critics boards and stuff like that.
Of it.
But it wasn't nominated for any Oscars, which just shows you how irrelevant the Academy Awards are.
Yeah, what horseshit the Oscars are.
Yeah. This was the directorial debut of Casey Lemmons. She was most famous prior to this, probably, for being an actress. The only thing I had seen her in was The Silence of the Lambs. She was Clarice's roommate in it.
Oh.
Yeah. So this was her feature debut. It was the director of photography.
That's very interesting. I very specifically remember her. Like, in my brain, I can pull her
Yeah,
up
with the braids. That's her.
Yeah. No, she didn't have braids. She just had, like, the, like...
She didn't? I thought she had little braids. Maybe she didn't.
Hair.
She had her hair in a pony, didn't she?
It was just curled.
Yeah.
Like a tight perm.
Well, it was probably natural because, but...
Sure, but, yeah. That's so funny. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's who that is. This was her first movie.
Good on her, man.
She
That's great that it's connected to that movie.
Yeah, she just and she said she learned a lot from Jonathan Demme in the way that she wanted to direct. But this was based on a short that she and the director of photography made, who is Amy something. It's a really big it's a female heavy crew, which I really like.
Yeah.
Her director of photography, which I think the photography in this movie is beautiful. But the two of them are both female. And they made a short called Dr. Hugo, which was it was like a prototype character to the father in this movie. And it was about a father going around making house calls of a doctor with his daughter in tow. And her keeping herself busy while he was kind of out philandering.
Okay.
And so that formed the basis of this movie. So what did you think of it, Jamie? You got to see it for the first time. I saw this not in the theater, but in the 90s when it came out, because I was a big Entertainment Weekly reader, and I remember that they talked about it a lot. You got to see this first feature from this director, and I was always, I'm always interested.
I mean, 97? So I was 13.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I first started subscribing to Entertainment Weekly when I was 15, and...
Yeah, I started subscribing when I was 20, 21. So a little bit after, but I can see why this movie I loved this movie.
I'm so glad you liked it.
I will say, full disclosure, I would not consider this a horror movie.
No, I know I was stretching it.
But
it's a drama.
I would consider it an appropriate movie to do for the first movie of the year, where it's like a gentle entry into the year.
That's nice. That's a nice way to put it.
And I didn't really want to see a horrible horror movie first thing of the year. I'm dealing with some stuff. It's the beginning of the year. I don't really want to see something that like makes me feel shitty as much as I love those movies.
Right. They're not for all the time. Exactly.
So this was a very nice step away from that.
Oh, you know what? I didn't say what it was about.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah,
I'm sorry. Real quick, what is this about? This is a period piece. It takes place in Louisiana in the early 1960s. And Eve, the title character, is a 9-year-old girl. And the opening voiceover in the movie, she says, "The summer I killed my father, I was 10 years old." So we get this really auspicious beginning. And it's all told from her perspective, and she's talking about her family, which is this very powerful family in this little town. And they're descended from this woman who was supposedly a witch. And her family has some psychic powers. She has this gorgeous mom played by Lynn Whitfield.
Beautiful.
Oh, my God.
Good God. Who's Lynn Whitfield? I'd never seen her before in my life, but she's a beautiful woman.
Isn't she beautiful?
Deserves to be on everything.
Mm-hmm. She's a very active actress. She's just in a lot more... a lot of these actors, in fact, are in more like Black-centered films.
Well, I can't wait to talk about her because she's gorgeous and wonderful and perfect, and I loved her.
Yes. And that is how the character sees her mother, and so it's good casting as well. And then her dad is Samuel L. Jackson, who is this charming town doctor and is just the apple of every woman in the town's eyes. But he's a typical man, and so he's weak and philandering and all those good things. And the girls, Eve and her older sister, who's just hitting puberty, are kind of vying for his attention. And then she's got this Aunt Mozelle, who is a very eccentric fortune teller. And Aunt Mozelle has a premonition of tragedy befalling the family, so even her siblings are locked in the house, and in the idea that it's going to keep them safe. But of course, things still happen, and there's going to be tragedy regardless. And it's about family secrets and what is the truth and memory and all those good things. So go on, Jamie.
Yeah. I loved it. While not a traditional sort of horror movie in terms of family drama and the like hinting at like a voodoo level of, mysticism and magic that's going on within this family and sort of their history of being able to make things happen. That was very interesting. Like the flashbacks of visions that folks got in this and like what they saw happening with their family members and that sort of thing was super interesting.
You like the way the visions looked?
Yeah. So while not like traditionally horror, I can see how the visions and the ideas of like the voodoo stuff can sort of toe that line where it's like, okay, it's not scary necessarily, and it's not terrifying, but it is creepy in that it's like a family and there's a level of things that are happening that are beyond their control that are causing things to happen within their family. And that in and of itself is very interesting, and it is a very intriguing concept for a plot. The acting in this, I would say, was my main takeaway. Like, I thought she's some family member of Jussie Smollett. What?
Jurnee, is
Jurnee
one of the
Smollett.
sisters. Yeah.
She was awesome, and she's from.
Wasn't she great?
I mean, I remember her from Full House. She was Michelle's little friend in Full House, and she was amazing in this movie.
And was only 10 years old.
But she, like, killed it. She had the teary-eyed look down perfectly. She had the, like, interest in what her family was doing. She had the familial relation with her father that was totally believable, with her mother, with her sister that was believable. Like, I just think the acting done by the children in this movie was really on a level that,
which is not easy to do, especially for a first-time director. Getting these performances out of kids is very impressive.
And, like, that's not, I mean, okay, so 97, like, that's not super long ago. Like, what else has
it's almost 25 years
been up to?
Jurnee Smollett?
Yeah.
She's a pretty successful TV actress.
She's okay,
on
good, I'm
Lovecraft
glad,
Country,
because I haven't known it. I mean, I don't look at anything that she's in, but that makes me glad because she killed it in this.
Mm-hmm. Like, and I think the adults are good too. I think the aunt in particular is very good.
The aunt was great. And
Debbie Morgan maybe is her name.
Yeah.
I think she's wonderful. And that's just a really well written, interesting character.
Exactly. And I mean, I think Samuel L. Jackson for his part did really well in this and had a very interesting character that was super, super likable, but had this dislikable, like,
it was a good, nuanced, fully realized character because you see all the things that the people like about him, but you can also see why. You don't have to spend a ton of
time with him. Like, they were able to do it. She was able to do it really convincingly with the scenes that you had with him. It wasn't anything that you needed to be like over like, you know, like beat over the head with.
No, in fact, I feel like because the movie starts with, I mean, there's the initial voiceover, but then they start us into a party at the family's house.
Yeah.
And it's a really interesting and smart way to introduce all of the characters, because just in this like first couple of minutes of the movie, you're shown everybody, and they're all given just a little bit of action and dialogue that tells us a lot of really valuable information about their characters without really having to spell anything out in a clumsy way or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Just the way that, like, in the opening scenes, the way that the mom and the aunt talk to each other, the way that the dad, when he dances with the older sister and stuff, the way that it you see the reaction on Eve's face, you know, and how that communicates the relationships between the daughters and the dad really, really easily. And I think that was just a really smart way to do it.
Yep.
And I agree
think
with
this
you.
was a very well done, well crafted movie.
Which is very surprising in that it's a first feature. But what I read or what I heard about,
we've seen it before.
No, we have, and sometimes that's like the best thing they ever do. I haven't seen anything else that Casey Lemmons has done that's been as good. I know she most recently did the Whitney Houston biopic that's out.
Oh, I was going to see that the other day, but saw Avatar instead.
I would like to see that.
Still want to see it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I heard that when they were making the movie that the director and the DP storyboarded everything out really thoroughly. And a lot of the stuff in the movie they would talk about during the commentary track, saying like, tell me how this shot came about and blah, blah, blah. And the DP would be like, this was just from your storyboard. So they had it.
Interesting. Okay.
And they showed some pictures from it. And there are scenes that just come whole cloth out of the storyboards. And I think that's just and another interesting thing about it is that it was one of those movies that took them years and years to make. So from the initial script and the people, you know, getting, you know, setting it up to film and pre-production, they wanted Meagan Good. She was cast as Eve.
That was the older sister?
Yes. But by the time they actually got the money and were ready to make it, she was too old. So they cast her as the older sister instead. So that's how long it took.
Yeah. Wow.
She was great. But that's how long it took to get made. And I think that's was probably
so uncomfortable.
What do you mean?
I think that was one of the most like effectively uncomfortable, tense
the weird relationship between her and her dad.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. When it would do like the shot backs to like her with her dad on the chair, like when they're in the room, like later on when it talks about that scene, or just like when they were dancing, or just the fact that they had this sort of special relationship outside of what everyone else had with him. Like, listen, when you watch a lot of crime stuff, you know
right? Of course, that's where our minds go.
Yeah,
when you watch a lot of SVU, what are you going to think?
I mean, listen, my neighbor and I helped another neighbor of ours take their trash out last week because, like, we could tell they hadn't put it out in a few weeks. And we're like, let's just put it out for them. Like, maybe they're going through some shit. I don't know. And we put it all out. Then we were walking back to our house, and my neighbor was like, I hope we didn't put out like, bodies evidence of anything. And I was like, God damn it, Jurnee. Like, I didn't think about that until you just mentioned it.
So what'd you do? Bring the cans back up?
No, I was like, no, we'll leave it out there because we're totally ignorant to anything that had happened. We're association. We're on the board, so we have to maintain a certain level of. And I was like, well, thank you for bringing that up. I should have brought that up because that's what I'm consuming every day, all day. Yeah. But thanks for bringing that up, Jurnee. I really hope we didn't throw away a bunch of bloody clothing.
Yeah.
But anyways.
I think that this might be a good time to talk about what was cut out.
Yeah. Tell me.
There's a character in the movie that was cut out because test audiences. Yeah. Do you remember when we were watching it? And I don't know if it was with you or if it was when I watched it with Kay, actually. But there's an uncle in this who has, I don't know if he has cerebral palsy or what, but he's an invalid.
He's the one who's like in the corner of the room,
Uncle
right?
Tommy, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was what was cut out. That was what was in the director's cut, but didn't make it into the theatrical cut. And they just thought, test audiences and the producers thought that it was confusing because, and there are parts that reference him that had to be cut out then because they thought that, I don't know, they thought that it was too confusing to have him in there. But the director wanted him in there because, first of all, the movie was made, it came out of some stuff that she was asked to recount some memories from her life, and that was one of them. That was an uncle that she had. And also her aunt was married 4 times, and her husbands had all died, and so that came from her life too. And so she wanted to keep it in there because it was a thing that was true to her life, and she thought that it was something that would lend some veracity to the movie because Black families at that time, maybe not, you don't just ship your relative off to a hospital, that was very common for the families to have, an invalid that they would take care of and stuff that was still part of their family. And they use that character because in the movie, it becomes very much about what is truth, and if 2 people remember things differently, is there really a truth, a singular truth to it, or is it all just, as it's reflected in our memories? Mm-hmm. And that character during a very important scene is there. And she wanted, when something happens, that what really happened is under question. And she wanted to have a character there that would know what really happened from a third-party point of view, but we'd never learn that. And so that's why she wanted to have him in there. And that is in the version that you saw, the one that's on there's on the Criterion disc, there's the theatrical and the director's cut. And we watched the director's cut, and I didn't even realize it because there's just 2 discs, and I put the top one in. And when I watched it, because I had only, I'd rented it, and that was the only version that was available, was the theatrical cut. So when we watched it again after all these years, I was like, who is this guy? I totally forgot this character. How is that possible? But it was because he wasn't in it. Did they need it? No, but it does add a little something that I liked, and especially after hearing the director talk about it.
Yeah, it was not a character that necessarily added a ton to the movie, but didn't feel misplaced necessarily in the version that I watched.
I didn't feel like the movie was over long either.
Yeah.
Not really. I didn't, it doesn't drag anywhere. I'm always very interested in what's happening. There was also some talk about getting rid of the aunt's story about her ex-husbands.
Oh, I love that.
Which to me is the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, that's like the crux.
Right. But they said, well, you could remove this and the movie's no different. And it doesn't have anything to do with the A plot that's going on in this. But to me, I loved it. And I love the use of mirrors in that scene and throughout the movie.
I thought that was awesome. It was filmed really well. It was told in a very interesting way.
Yeah, the way they told it made it come alive in a way that I've never really seen before. And I think it's interesting that Casey Lemmons talked about what she read as a kid. The scenes where Eve and her sister are reciting Shakespeare, acting out Romeo and Juliet and stuff. She said that was stuff that she used to do with her sister when she was a kid. And so she wanted that in there. But she also said she read a lot of Tennessee Williams and a lot of Gabriel Garcia Marquez. And that really resonates, I think, in the movie.
For sure.
Because Gabriel Garcia Marquez is very tied into magical realism. Yep. And I think that is what makes this movie stand out, is the magical realism. The way that when Mozelle is telling Eve the story of her of her ex-husband's, how you see Eve watching it happen instead of watching her aunt tell the story, which I think is so cool. And having her walk into that mirror and interact with what's going on in there is such a really cool scene. And throughout the movie, when they use the mirrors to reflect back and how she only sees them in those mirrors and stuff, I just think it's so cool and elegant and smart. And I also think that this is a valuable movie because it came out. There are a lot of movies now that are marketed and made directly for Black audiences that we don't even see advertised to us because they're not marketed to us.
Because we're not Black audiences.
Yes. But at this time, there weren't as many. And this movie has not a white person in it. Not a single one. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I
didn't miss them.
No. And why would you need it? You don't need to throw one in. You know what I mean? This is a movie about Black people and Black families. And the director said that she got flack from people criticizing the costuming and the set design in this, saying the Black people at that time didn't live in this kind of environment. They didn't dress that nice. They didn't this, they didn't that. And something I thought was interesting was that Casey Lemmons said that in the initial party scene, the Aunt Mozelle character is wearing a dress that was from the mother of one of the crew members who was a Black woman in the 60s. And that was an actual dress.
Fucked, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe don't tell me my business.
I just love that this movie shows, first of all of these women and their lives and their interior experiences. The movie, maybe the plot of the movie centers around Sam Jackson and his character, but it's about the women.
Yeah.
It's about Eve. It's about her mom and her sister and her aunt. And I loved seeing a movie made by women with a lot of women on the crew, edited by a woman, filmed by a woman, about women, and Black women.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
With these rich inner lives and everything. It's so rare and so precious of a thing, you know, and it mainly the reason I wanted to do this movie is because I think it's just a crime that more people haven't seen it.
Yeah. I'm for that. I want more people to see it. I thought it was great.
Something else I thought was crazy, because this is filmed in New Orleans, and they make a lot of use out of the gorgeous scenery in this.
So beautiful.
And as beautiful as New Orleans is, or as Louisiana in general is, I don't know where in Louisiana it was filmed, they said that the amount of bugs was just insane. Evidently,
it looked like a heavy bug.
Oh my God! All I could think about was mosquitoes. Evidently, the witch in it, Elzora, who is played by Diane Carroll, who's fucking amazing. Evidently, it's like a little shack right on the water. There's like a bridge that gets to it, and it must be on stilts, and it's just surrounded by water and all that Spanish moss and all those trees. She said that they had to have people come in like spider wranglers.
Oh, no.
That there were wild tarantulas all over that house.
No.
Yes. Tarantulas.
Wait, there are
and
wild tarantulas in Louisiana?
Yes. And that they were all over that house. And that Casey Lemmons wanted to make sure that the place wasn't covered with tarantulas when Diane Carroll was there.
I'm going to have to tell Kitty that we got to be on the lookout for tarantulas.
Yeah, they're just wild there.
Cool. Mm-hmm. I love tarantulas. I'm not afraid of them. I'm interested in seeing them in real life, but I don't want them sneaking up on me.
I'm not interested in them. I don't like them. I had a friend in high school who had a tarantula, and when I'd spent the night at her house, I couldn't sleep because of it.
I don't know. Once you've held them.
No, I'd never hold it.
Crawled on you.
No, I would never hold it.
I don't know. I feel less weird about it.
I have chills. Let's stop talking about it.
Oh, her name was Rose, the one that I held.
Ew.
She was real sweet.
Okay, sure she was.
Fair enough.
So I think that we should, unless you have other general thoughts about this, I wouldn't mind talking about the ending.
No,
some spoilers. Okay. Well, listeners, I really recommend this movie. Do you want to rate it, Jamie?
Oh, sure.
Because this is a 5-star for me. This is a
5-star.
It's a 5-star movie.
It's not
from way back.
It's not a 5-star horror movie. Again, if someone's looking for horror, it's not one that I would recommend to them for horror. But I like this again as an ease into a new year because as someone who's watched a lot of horror, there are definitely elements to it. Just the dramatic like mysticism theme of this movie, the idea of voodoo, like that's there. So the trained horror viewer's brain can easily go to that place.
Yeah, it's in our language. It's just
horrific, but it's not a traditional horror movie. That being said, it is a beautiful movie. It is incredibly well acted. It is well directed. It is absolutely a movie worth watching for all the reasons.
And
so
non-horror
I would give this a 5.
Watchers would
absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally.
You'd
like this if you like horror. You'd like this if you like just drama, thrillers, family drama stuff. Like, I mean, it's a super solidly acted movie, which I think carries it for various reasons.
God, and the costumes, the dresses.
Yes. So good.
The hair.
Everything looks so good. You feel transported to that time and you feel like you are a part of it and that you're witnessing, you're a fly in the wall to these parties that they're having and these conversations that they're having in the house. And
it's such a compelling
you feel
world.
Very, very enmeshed in it.
Mm-hmm. It's a world that I like to visit and that I don't
and it's an
mind
unusual one.
time
We don't usually see a lot of movies like this, like from Black voices that are giving us a story that's entirely Black characters and there's nobody else in it. And I love that. Give me more of it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
All right, so
big fan.
That is our recommendation. I'm very glad you liked it. I wasn't sure how you would feel about it being not super horror-y, but I hope that you would appreciate the technical value that it has and the good drama that it is. So I'm glad. So I hope that you listeners will check it out. There is a Criterion Collection disc that was just released this year. I highly recommend that. The 4K restoration is gorgeous. And the score, too, I should point out, is by Terrence Blanchard, who has done lots of stuff with Spike Lee. That would be probably the director he's worked with most, but it's a really cool kind of jazzy, bluesy score. That's really good. But anyway, we got to talk about spoilers. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of what happens. There's the scene that everything hinges on is this moment where Dad gets home drunk from another night out carousing where he says he's working late. And Cicely, the older daughter, who's like 12, 13, always waits up for him. And there's something that goes on, and we see it from her point of view when she's telling Eve, and we see it later on from Louis, the dad's point of view, as he's telling his sister about it. And either dad kissed the daughter passionately and daughter freaked out, or daughter kissed dad passionately and dad freaked out. And either way, there was a transgression where
there was passionate kissing.
And it disturbed both of them very deeply. And because of this, Eve wants to kill her dad, so she goes to the witch in town, played by Diane Carroll, and asks she wants to kill him with voodoo. But really, she ends up killing him a different way by telling the husband of her dad's lover, hinting to him that his wife has been cheating on him, which ends up getting him killed. So the whole thing is, and the whole movie hinges on the fact that it's very hard to know where the truth lies. And even these people that are fortune tellers, the aunt who can see people's future, she still ends up losing all of her husbands. And, even Eve, who can read these people, she still can't get to the truth. Which I think is an interesting way to do it. And it's never, even though dad gets killed, she still has mixed feelings about him. She loves him, but she hates him. And,
yeah, it's still her dad.
Mm-hmm. And I like that the movie ends on a pretty ambiguous note.
It's a very ambiguous note.
But we know that, she's mended things with her sister and that she's going to be on her sister's side regardless.
Yep, and her mom's obviously fine with things. So is her aunt.
So what did you think about the way that it played out? Did you like that it was ambiguous? Did you have an opinion on what happened?
No, I liked it. I liked that they made it ambiguous because it left the mystery open to Eve and everyone else, where it's like, maybe this was because of voodoo. Maybe this was because you went and talked to the witch and like made things happen. Or maybe it's just because that's the course of actions of your father's philandering ways.
Right. Maybe it happened because you told this guy. Maybe it would have happened anyway.
Right. Exactly. Like he was getting around. So chances are this could have played out this way regardless.
It's also worth noting that
I like the ambiguousness of it.
He wouldn't have killed him if he hadn't ran his fucking mouth anyway. He threatened him, but then he couldn't keep his mouth shut
all the time. Mm-hmm. Like and that was the thing, that it was nicely set up from the beginning. It was, you could see, you knew that character, the character of the father, like,
yeah, it was in his character to do that.
Yep. Regardless, however you were killed, you had it coming from 5 different ways.
Right.
Like,
it was the posturing and the egotism that made him think that he could do that.
Like everyone saw that you were getting with that other woman, whatever her name was.
Just in front of the whole town. I mean,
like everyone saw that, and clearly a lot of people were willing to like look past that, but it was clear that was a known thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the ambiguity.
Yeah.
Having seen it both ways, really well. I don't know that I needed the uncle character to be in there, but the scenes that they ended up losing because of that, I'm sad that they lost.
Yeah, having watched the scenes with the uncle in it, I don't think it added anything that made me feel like there were pieces lacking or that there were threads that hadn't been tied up, sort of thing. I think he added a very interesting layer to the aunt, if anything else, and to the dad. Like, he just added a little bit more depth to them in his presence, but I don't think that his presence necessarily like added, I don't know, any confusing layer to it. But I could easily see that him not being there was also, ineffectual. Like, he could be there or not be there.
Mm-hmm. Well, did you have a favorite scene? Did you, anything else you liked about it?
I don't know about a favorite scene necessarily.
Should we talk about the wig on that guy? Do you know that's the director's husband?
You can talk about the wig on the guy. That's all I was
That's
thinking
her husband.
Just then. Okay.
And of course, because she makes him look like he's like this dreamboat, and it's like, okay, sure.
But does she make him look like a dreamboat?
Well, I think she thinks he's a dreamboat, yeah.
Sure. It looks so silly.
So silly with that little do-rag. It's funny, too, in the commentary.
Was the hair.
The one producer says something about the do-rag and the others don't say anything. And it's like, maybe.
Well, there it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I couldn't get past the hair.
It's pretty silly.
The hair is a character in and of itself. Mm-hmm. It should be played by hair. Best hair, played by hair. I didn't love that.
I mean, the character coming in and all that was good. And evidently they initially wanted... It
felt very Twin Peaksy.
You think so?
Yes. Like, just the addition of the sort of random
guy out of nowhere.
But also who had a very specific look. And I think, again, the hair.
The hair.
Like, it was noticeable. So for someone who's watched a lot of Twin Peaks, like, it felt very much in that vein where it's like, oh, you've got like a weird sort of Twin Peaks vibe about you.
Yeah.
And you're obviously like more in touch with the sort of like, I don't know, psychic realm or whatever. And it was like, what was it? Our first intro to him. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if you're a voodoo, like related to voodoo at all. Like you show up out of nowhere in the middle of a storm and you've got these flowing locks. Like, oh, I wonder if you have anything to do with
But he didn't.
voodoo.
He wasn't a voodoo guy.
He didn't, but it just shows that like that wasn't necessary then. Like then the hair evoked a certain feeling
it did.
about the character and about the situation that wasn't the case. So it's like then that wasn't needed.
Yeah, that didn't super work for me.
But it was funny.
But it was funny.
An opportunity to
make fun of somebody. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me too. All right. Well, I think we covered it all. I think we talked a lot about it. I hope that y'all will go see this, or that you will rent it.
It's totally worth it. It's such a great movie.
I hope that you like it, and if you've seen it, I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Anything that we didn't cover, and if you watch it because of this, I would love to hear what you thought of it.
Also, if you've watched or haven't watched John Wick.
Jamie would like to know what you think of John Wick.
I would like to know what you think of John Wick, because I'm going to watch the rest of them tonight, and it's now my favorite thing I've ever seen, and I'm going to love Keanu Reeves even more for the next 4 weeks or so.
Keanu, I'll love you till the day I die.
Also, like, what a babe is he in this movie?
Yes, he's a babe.
Like, hunk fest 2023.
He looks great with long hair.
I'm just very disappointed in myself that it's been so long that I like took so long to watch this.
I'm disappointed that you took so long to love Keanu.
I'm like, holy shit! No, I've always liked Keanu.
But you didn't realize what a beautiful, beautiful man he was?
No, I absolutely did.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like, he is a beautiful man. I've always thought that. And he's like a pure soul. Like, I understand that about him. He's just not in a ton of stuff that I seek out.
I don't think Constantine is bad.
I liked Constantine.
Yeah, I think Constantine's pretty good.
In like a cheesy way, I really like Constantine. There's a lot of stuff with Keanu that I really like, but he's just not in a lot of things. However, this, and I thought for sure you had mentioned this to me, but I guess if you haven't seen it, you should watch it tonight. So
maybe I will.
I can hear what you think about it, because I'm maybe going to watch it over again.
Jamie's obsessed, listeners.
But I also love rewatching things. If I love something, I'm going to rewatch it 5 times.
That's why I rewatched Antichrist on New Year's Eve.
I've watched that twice. I mean, I've rewatched, like, all of the horrible movies that make you feel shitty?
Yeah,
I've rewatched those multiple times.
Watch them for fun.
Yeah,
I love you're bored, so you watch Snowtown.
Oh my god, watching Snowtown on a plane, folks, when someone's next to you.
You're such an asshole.
And you're watching with like headphones, and the person's looking at it like, "What in the fuck is this for?"
You're terrible. You watched
fun.
I Spit on Your Grave on a plane.
I did.
You're terrible.
Watched it. That was so. Listen, it's one of my favorite things to experience what someone next to me is going through while I'm watching this.
It's always just like...
Because they look at me, I'm a very unassuming person.
That's
they're
true.
like, oh, she looks very normal and fine, but they can clearly see what I'm watching, and they're like, oh, she's...
That's not Aquaman.
Fucked up 5 Ways from Sunday. And you're right, folks, I am.
And you'd be right.
You aren't misinformed today.
No, that's true.
I am fucked up 5 ways from Sunday.
Yeah.
6 ways.
She's not unfamiliar with the inside of a
nasty.
mental hospital.
No.
As they say about a character in this movie.
What? Oh, even better.
So for our next movie, this was out in theaters for forever. I don't understand why. Maybe because the cast was a lot bigger. I don't know. But we're going to be watching The Menu next with Ralph Fiennes and
The Menu?
Anya Taylor-Joy. And is Nicholas Hoult in this too? Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So now it is on streaming. It was in the theater
darling
for
Anya.
a long time. Yeah.
But also, like, Ralph Fiennes?
Mm-hmm.
Who's excited to see him again? This girl.
So we're going to watch that next. I think it's on Hulu now.
Yeah, it said, like, starting January 3rd. So whatever it's streaming on, it starts tomorrow.
I'll double check real quick so they know.
I'm real excited. My sister and her husband saw it, and they said it was real good. And they recommended it to me because I always recommend scary movies to them. And I could tell. you just look at the lineup. Like, it's Ray Fiennes, it's Anya Taylor-Joy, it's Nick Holt. They're usually involved in sort of...
Janet McTeer, John Leguizamo, Judith Light.
Oh, my fucking God. I love Judith Light so much.
Light. Well, this is exciting.
Well, you didn't know that you would draw me in with Judith Light. You done did.
I'm sold.
Oh, my God, Judith Light.
Well, that's exciting. So,
Judith Light, I love you so much. She's from Law & Order SVU, and she's from the...
Who's the boss?
Well, yeah, and the Hallmark movie about... what's her name? A Woman Scorned?
No, that was Meredith Baxter Burney.
Meredith Baxter Burney. But Judith Light is in another Hallmark movie. I can't think of. But anyways, love her. I'm into it.
That's awesome. I'm excited.
It's fantastic.
We hope that you listeners will watch The Menu and join us back here in 2 weeks to talk about it. If you have any issue with us doing older movies, or if you are excited about us doing older movies, let us know what you think. Usually we try and do newer releases, but I like revisiting stuff, and there's some old stuff that I think that would behoove you to see that maybe you haven't. So if you're okay with that, let us know.
Yeah, there isn't as much stuff coming out in the theaters.
Not right now. And there haven't been a lot of good horror movies in theaters for a while. I got to see...
it's the beginning of a new year, so if you've got recommendations, like, throw them at us.
Yeah, we would love that.
If they're old movies, that sort of thing, just let us know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you know how to get in touch with us. You can comment on our website at thebloodlust.net. You can leave a comment on Facebook. We're at The Bloodlust there. We're at _thebloodlust_ on Twitter. And we're on Instagram, even though I don't check it super often, but I will if you write there. I also would love it if you would give us a review if you haven't yet. We're still sitting at 84. I'd love another one.
Oh, we're so close.
We're close.
So close to 100.
It'd be nice. Maybe in 2023, huh?
Yeah, we've got 365 days.
Yeah.
363 days.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie, this has been fun. Thank you for joining me. Mm-hmm. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you listeners. And we'll see you in 2 weeks when we talk about The Menu. And until then, I just kicked my space heater. I've been Amy.
And I'm Jamie, still. And I think through the rest of this year.
As far as we know.
As far as I know.
But we'll keep you posted on
Jury's
that.
out.
Yeah. And hail Ratman 2023.
Always.
Praise his name. Okay. Good night.
Bye.